Troubles of this world, yeah, I'm going home to live with God. I'm going home to live with God. No more, no more weeping and wailing. No more, no more weeping and wailing. No more, no more weeping and wailing. I'm going home to live with God. I'm going home to live with God. Yeah. One day when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory. Oh, glory. Now the war isn't over. Victory isn't won. And we'll fight to the finish. And then we're all done. We cry glory, 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 glory. One day, when the war is won, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, glory. Thank you. Good morning. The speaker, Michael Streeter, was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama. He is married to Sarah, his wife, for nearly 20 years. They have 2 children, Jada and Jordan. After graduating from Inslee High School in 1988, he furthered his education by earning an undergraduate degree from Miles College, graduating in 1994. He earned a Juris Doctorate degree from the Birmingham School of Law in 2002. He has been working in the criminal justice system for nearly 20 years, starting his career as a deputy sheriff at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office in 1996. After approximately 5.5 years with the Sheriff's Office, he was hired as a probation and parole officer with the Alabama Board of Pardons and Paroles, where he served for more than 2 years. While working with the Board of Pardons and Paroles, he earned his law degree by attending law school at night. He was appointed as Deputy District Attorney with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office in 2004. Until recently, he held a position as Senior Trial Attorney with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, where he handled serious crimes ranging from drug possessions to capital murder. In 2014, he was appointed as a Special Assistant U.S. Attorney by Joyce Vance, U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Alabama. On November 8, 2016, he was elected Circuit Court Judge by the citizens of Jefferson County. He pledged Alpha Alpha fraternity at Miles College, Gamma Kappa chapter in the spring of 1992. He is a member of the Omicron Lambda graduate chapter.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to take one moment to stop and pause. I want you all to take a look and just look around you and look at these young men that we have here. Aren't they a positive reflection of the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? So often we have to deal with stereotypes that are just not reflective of our community as a whole. So I want you to really take this in. I want to talk to you briefly. I won't be long, but hopefully I can say something today that is going to inform, influence, and inspire you to action. Interpreting the dream for the work of 2017. That's what we're talking about today. That's our theme. So the question I'm going to put to you before we even get started, I'm going to ask you a simple question. What will it take to realize the dream? And before I go on, I'm going to give you the answer. It's going to take us. Just that simple. Brothers, I'm glad to be here to talk to you and talk to the community. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to stand here and celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a brother who means so much to all of us, so much. Brother Martin Luther King Jr. clearly and eloquently expressed his idea and vision of the American dream as it relates to the African American and really all Americans. He anchored his dream in one simple word: freedom. Now, not freedom from physical chains or slavery, but freedom from the oppression of inequality, prejudice, and racism. Brother King believed that America had grand potential to be a great nation for all citizens, as articulated in the founders of this country in the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. However, when Brother King gave his historical "I Have a Dream" speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1963, he gave a speech specifically highlighting how this country had not lived up to its fullest potential. He expounded on the reality of the state of the Negro, or black people if you must, at that time. And his dream was that one day we would be free from the institution of oppressive laws and the laws of Jim Crow, being beneficiaries of the promise of the American dream. That was the dream in 1963. And arguably the dream is still that, just a dream that has not come to full fruition. It is a fact that there is still work to be done to realize this dream. The question is, how do we interpret the dream for here and now? There really is no simple answer to this question. I have another question for you. Is the dream that Martin Luther King had still relevant to black people, to all people, to America? Surely it is. Now, in many ways, the dream has become materialized. Black folks have achieved some amazing things, and some would say that race relations have moved in the right direction. The fact that we have a black man as president, and a man who's done an outstanding job, I'm going to add. We have a black family in the White House who have carried that title with dignity and integrity. We have some real and tangible progress. We have a black mayor in this city. We have a black police chief. He deserves a hand. We have a predominantly black city council and many other elected black officials of African descent. The fact remains that when Brother King wrote the dream speech, he wrote it in the reality of what was going on with black America then. There was no way he could foresee that the state of black America would be what it is today, which is very complex. Brother Martin never envisioned that the black culture in many ways would regress. Bear with me. In some ways lose its focus. We should be mindful and not forget that there was a time in black history when we thrived in our own communities, where businesses were successful and wholly supported by the community. A community where doctors and lawyers and teachers, businessmen and restaurateurs lived in the same neighborhoods. Education was understood as a necessity to increase the likelihood of partaking in this, our slice of the American pie. Have we gone backwards? I'm not sure, but something has diverted our attention from the dream. Let me try and explain this. Yes, equality and employment and housing and education and the criminal justice system were and are important, and success in these areas are necessary to realize the dream. We need to fight on. But to fight, you have to be in fighting condition. Y'all follow me? You have to be ready to take on your opponent. For instance, a professional boxer, for example, his dream is to become the champ. But to be the champ, he has to put in work to be in fighting shape. He has to be conditioned to go the distance. He has to train many hours to realize his dream of becoming the champ. If he stepped into the ring without preparing, his chances of winning or prevailing in the fight would not be that great. Truthfully stated, he'd get knocked out. However, if he took the time to train, to prepare, to educate himself on his opponent, his chances would greatly increase. He would have to prepare himself before he could realize the dream. So it is with us. We know what the dream is, but we have to fight to obtain it. So if we fight, we need to be prepared and trained. We must be, listen to me, we must be in fighting condition. This fight for equality, as our brother dreamed, is achieved by preparation, and that is the key. Are we prepared when we don't educate ourselves? Are we trained and prepared when we don't nourish strong families led by strong men? Are we prepared when we don't realize that incarceration is stealing more than physical freedom, but taking a psychological toll and then becoming mental incarceration? Are we prepared when we don't realize that black on black violence is doing us in? We must be prepared. We must be trained for the fight in order to realize the dream. We have to recognize that we need to be prepared for this long haul, for this aggressive fight where we're going to take a few blows. We have to be prepared. But the dream, has to be rethought. It needs to be reanalyzed in an effort to harvest the deeper message to ourselves. Brother Martin wanted Black Americans to experience life in this country to its fullest. He wanted us to realize and receive what our mothers and fathers put into and invested in this country. The fact remains that we cannot realize the dream until we deal with the problems in our own communities, and it's gonna hurt y'all. We have to hold on to Brother Martin Luther King's dream. In 2017, we have to continue to pursue this dream and make it an absolute reality. We cannot afford to wait on others to make this dream real. In 1963, there was a call to action. The call was for America to charge ahead and enforce the Constitution and bring about equality for Black people and all citizens. Again, we must charge ahead and not wait on others. To do this, we have to look within ourselves. We have to make our communities what they should be. This is how we interpret the dream for the work of 2017. Look within ourselves to push forward. We have to take responsibility for our communities as we hold America to its promise of inclusion, equality, and justice. The dream then demands that we look outward, but yes, we also need to look inward. We are part of this dream, and the dream cannot come to fruition without us. We cannot forget that we are the America that Dr. Martin Luther King spoke of. We are the America that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke of. If we want absolute freedom, we have to ring the bell for ourselves. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring in 2017. Thank you so much.
In honor of Dr. King, I'll be performing a tune entitled All the Things You Are.
once again, I'd like to thank you for coming out to this ceremony, and let us once again applaud Brother Michael Streetley on his speech today. Before we leave this meeting, I would like to leave you with one final word. We must continue the work every day, every hour, every minute of every second, for this dream to no longer be deferred, but to become reality. So go back to Inslee, go back to Powderly, go back to wherever nook and cranny of Birmingham you are from, or Alabama, or the South, or the United States as a whole, and make sure you advocate and you serve for this dream to become a reality. Thank you. Now we have a couple of highly esteemed guests with us, and we'd like to recognize those persons. So first we will have Dr. George French, the president of Miles College.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to our illustrious speaker who brought that relevant message, who is a graduate of Miles College. We say thank you.
Next, excuse me. Next, we will have City Councilman Stephen Hoyt.
Let me say good morning to all of you, and to our esteemed Mayor William Anthony Bell Sr., to Dr. French, to Senator Spillman, to Councilor Tyson, my colleague. Would you come up, Councilor Tyson? Where is she? Okay. She's right here. But listen, this is a wonderful day for us. But I was thinking as I was standing back there, that this day is really not about us in particular, but it's every other person who's not here is that we need to be concerned about. And I want to say J. Mason Davis perhaps this morning gave the best Martin Luther King breakfast speech that I ever heard in the last 25 years that I've gone. He spoke from his heart, but he also talked about things that were relevant. And we should all be concerned about this new government that's coming in. We should be concerned till we need to still stay on the battlefield. And I shared with my colleague that I was writing. I'm always writing and thinking about different things. But I thought about freedom. And freedom is still a faraway look and a nearby task. The struggle is still not over. And so what we have to do as a people, as a community, as a city, as a state, as a country, is to remind our young people it need to be riveted in their minds and their spirit and their soul that we still have to fight. We cannot give up. And so as we celebrate this day, Dr. King will be proud that we've made some strides, but he's not going to shout hallelujah just yet, because the struggle is not over. And so I say to us, I challenge us, as I challenge, there's a writer who says that we must maximize, that we have a duty to maximize, and that is to use your talents, your gifts, your abilities, your capabilities to the maximum extent possible. And when we do that, then we have done the work of he who sent us to work on behalf of him. So God bless you today. I'm proud, Judge Streety, what a wonderful speaker you are. What a great message you had. And I appreciate what it is that you're doing, and you make us proud, because I too am a Mile in, and I am very proud of you and all these alpha men. And Dr. Hill, my mentor, is right here, and I appreciate what he did for me, because he mentored me, and I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Hager L. Hill. And so I appreciate you so very much. God bless you. Let's have a great day, and let's make a difference. As God has made a difference in us, then we must make a difference in each other. God bless you.
We also have State Senator Roger Smitherman here with us today.
Praise the Lord, saints. Look, I'm going to tell you something. We in a time now, if you're not close to him, you need to find him. If you're close to him, stay close to him. Because I'm going to tell you, we've been here before. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Especially if you know anything about Jim Crow or you lived through it like I did. We've been here before. But it's not something we can't handle. We know we got to pull together. We as people have got to pull together. And I'm proud to stand up here as an alpha to tell you that the alphas are setting the lead in public service. And we all have to dedicate ourselves to be our brothers and sister keepers. So on behalf of all my brothers, all my alpha brothers, I say that all of us, let's pull together, let's stay together as one. Because if we have the Lord in front of us and we stay together as one, we like the old African proverbs, is that you can take one stick and you can break it. But when you put a bundle together, you can't break it. All who agree with what you heard and said, let's say amen. Amen.
And last but not least, we have the mayor of Birmingham, Brother William Bell.
Thank you to the men of Alpha Phi Alpha, to Judge Streety, to all who have come out here to pay homage to the legacy and work of Dr. King as the mayor and proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi. I wish to join you along with all of the other members of the Divine Nine, the sororities and fraternities that have found our true bond in our Greekdom, to say thank you. Thank you for each year coming out and honoring your brother who has led the way for all of us to be where we are today. You know, as we stand in this park, this is the first event to take place in this park since it was designated as part of our Civil Rights District, a national monument. And we stand here as the power of government is about to be transferred. And you know, just like all seasons, the sun doesn't shine always, the grass is not always green, and leaves are not always on the trees. But you know that spring is not too far away, and hope is not too far away. We stand in a park where the hose pipe stripped the skin of marchers and soaked into the ground. We stand in a park where billy clubs went upside the heads of young men and young girls, and the blood flowed from their head and soaked in the soil. That blood, those skin cells soaked into the earth here. They're drawn up into the trees. They're in the grass leaves. They're all around us. Its life exists in this park. And surely, as they are barren today, the leaves will come back. The strength will come back. And that's what we must remind ourselves, that even though we may face challenges, the DNA is within us to keep the struggle alive and to keep moving forward. So I want to thank you for being perseverant. I want to thank you for being vigilant. But let's spread that through all of our brothers and sisters to let them know that there is a brighter day when we work united together for the good. Thank you all.